As we get closer to May, more big games with big impact. Two of the best in lacrosse face off in our game of the night. We're talking with two of the top 10 baseball teams in the area. They'll join us in studio. Come on in for another edition of High School Sports Final. And it's next.
I'm Danny Espinosa, and you're watching High School Sports Final.
From News Channel 8, this is High School Sports Final.
Danny Espinosa, wow. Hello and thanks for joining us for High School Sports Final. I'm your host, Robert Burton. Lots of scores and highlights to get to. No time to waste, so let's get right to it. Starting with girls lacrosse, Bishop Ireton is ranked number 2 in the area. A great team coach Sofield was on this show just weeks ago. The Cardinals defense is stiff, allowing just 6 goals per game, all the while averaging 14 on offense. You can see why Ireton is also the second-ranked team in the country. This week, they go head-to-head with another one of our area's top 10 teams, Holy Cross.
The Cardinals look prepared, ready for Holy Cross. The Tartans got a little luck. Look at the shot stopped by Amelia Cole. She picks it up, but as she tries to corral the ball, it falls out of her net and into her own goal. But no worries for Ireton. Off a stoppage, Charlotte Sofield rips one pass. Jacqueline Branthover for the goal. Bishop Ireton hangs on for the win, the final 13-8. Riverdale Baptist fell out of the rankings. We'll hear from them later on, taking on St. Mary's. Good defense right here for the Crusaders. Dan Wright gets that tough hop at third and fires across the diamond for the out, and they get out of the inning after that. On offense, this is all you need. Joey Mendez shows some pop, the fly ball deep down the left field line and hits the foul pole. Is it in or out? The umpire says in. So it's a home run, and that's the right call. Riverdale Baptist wins this one 8-5.
Madison County in the area to take on George Mason. The Mustangs off and running early. Daniel Butler with the shot over the right fielder's head. Chris Meter is on first and comes all the way in to score. How about that? Then Gabe Terry would do the rest. How about this? The deep fly ball to left field, and it's back, and gone. It's a home run. George Mason wins this one in style, the final 10-0.
Good night in Fairfax. O'Connell and Paul on the diamond. Trey Ramsey on the bump, and pitches like this kept the Panthers in the game. The strikeout ending the inning. Rafi Vasquez on the mound right here. Michael Koritz hits a shot right back at Vasquez, who was just trying to save himself. The catch and the throw to first for the double play. Vasquez was dealing. In fact, he was painting the corners. The strikeout, and O'Connell wins it 2-0 in a close game.
W.T. Woodson flying high, taking on Oakton. The Cougars already up 3. Here are the Cavaliers showing some defense. The hit right to Joey Kronlodge, who makes the flip to short, and the throw to first for the double play. There you go. Tyler Becklin, though, at the dish for Woodson. The number past the pitcher, but there's Connor Kozad with the nice play to get the out. Oakton rolls in this one, the final 3-0. It's that time in our show where we highlight the best and the brightest on the field, and in the classroom, it's our Athlete of the Week, brought to you by our friends at iTility. This week's athlete was big, huge in taking down the #1 baseball team in the area. In fact, this Chantilly pitcher has helped the Chargers to a 9-3 record in Virginia's Conference 5. Forrest Wagner went 5 1/3 innings, allowing 2 hits, and he did it using his curveball to keep the Oakton batters off balance in Chantilly's 5-0 win over the former #1 team in the region. Wagner said following the game, the curveball was just working. It's that simple. The changeup was working too as well. I just kept good command on that, and that's really how it works. So congrats to Forrest Wagner of Chantilly, our iTility Athlete of the Week. Lots of games to get to, and we're just getting started here on High School Sports Final. Up next, the game of the night. It comes from the Lacrosse field, and two storied programs in the area, Gonzaga and Georgetown Prep. Plus, we're talking baseball with a program that is always strong. We'll go inside the team at Riverdale Baptist. And don't forget, for the latest scores and highlights of featured games, you can also log on to highschool or hssportsfinal.com. Well, Riverdale Baptist has been synonymous with legendary coach Terrell. After all, Terrell won 1,000 games at the Upper Marlboro School. So one of only a handful of coaches in the country to accomplish that feat. So when he retired last year, he left the job to another close to coach, Terry, his son Ryan, who has been on the coaching staff for the past 3 years after playing for the Crusaders. And there's no fall off as the Crusaders are 15-5 with loads of talent. Joining us now is Coach Ryan Terrell, catcher Joey Mendez, and shortstop Brody Cook. So first off, when you say 1,000 wins, the coach is either one of two things, old or good. Which one is your dad? And choose wisely because he's watching right now.
I think it might be a little of both. No,
okay.
I'm playing with you. No, he's definitely bigger than 1,000 wins.
Yeah.
I think that number obviously speaks for itself, but it's just the respect and the way he's treated his players and the respect from the community that I've always gotten from people talking about him definitely means more than those wins. But 1,000 is a big milestone.
Yeah.
We're really proud of him for that.
I saw you before the show. I said, man, you have some big shoes to fill. Are you excited about taking on the challenge?
Oh, no question. I played at Riverdale. I definitely bleed blue and gold. These guys know, where my heart is. At the same time, I still got Dad around to bounce some lineup questions off of him, and he's as passionate and as energetic as ever. So we're excited. He's doing a great job helping me out, and obviously got a lot of good young ball players who are, always make the coach look a little better than he really is.
15-5, a good record. Not the record you'd rather be, 20-0, but 15-5, a great start. Talk about, what message are you giving to your players, that equals out to the success?
Well, they know number one, we want to get them ready to play college baseball, and we're playing a tough schedule, and they know each day we're going to get everybody's best. We're proud of the fact that we see a lot of number one pitchers each day, and I think it does them justice as they advance in their baseball career. But we're proud. We preach effort and energy every single day. We want to know, whether we win or lose, that team says we'll play Riverdale Baptist Ball Club anytime. And we got a lot of respect for the way those kids talk to umpires, respect coaches, and really play the game of baseball.
How do you uphold the legacy? I mean, it's a lot to uphold, man.
It is,
yeah.
But again, since 3 years old, I've been watching him, so he's been an awesome, obviously a great father, but at the same time a mentor in the game of baseball, and taught me a ton of things, throughout the game, but even more so the relationship side and how to treat young men and build them up and get them to respond in a positive way. And I think that goes a long way in sports.
And the players also have a big deal to do with that. What about you, Brody? How do you, want to contribute to upholding that legacy?
Well, one of the biggest things about the legacy is leadership.
Yeah.
And that's a huge aspect that I learned from Coach Ryan and Coach T that just been brought down to some of the leaders and the captains on the team. So what I focus on really is just leadership. There are a lot of young guys on the team, and I just try to really focus on just getting them focused on, what it is to be a Riverdale baseball player.
Yeah.
And those things just go way beyond the sport, way beyond the game. We do a lot of stuff in the community, and if you ask anybody, they know a lot about us, about our character, and that's something that I try to do, and keep going.
Nice. What about you, Joey?
I just really feel that Coach Ryan and Brody and Coach T, they really show us what it's like to be young men, and they're bringing us up to be ready for college and just allow us to share the leadership qualities that we have and what they're instilling in us to give off to the younger kids and just really win some ball games and just be good young men.
So you guys are a top team. That means a tough schedule. Talk about having to deal with everyone's toughest game, Coach.
Yeah, I think that's something, through the years. Obviously, the Lord's blessed us with a lot of, great players through the years, and having those kind of teams, through the years gives that kind of respect. So those tough games, I think they build character. The 10-1 games are okay, but those 2-1, those 5-4 games really build character throughout the club and teach them how to compete and how to make those plays when you got to make a play, not just when you got a 5, 6, 7 run lead.
Look at you guys. Are you watching your own highlights here? Yes, Look at you getting too excited. Okay, so Joey, I think you hit a home run this past game, right?
Yes, sir.
How does that feel, man, when you knock it over the fence, man?
It was good.
Yeah.
I mean, off the bat, I knew it was out, and they didn't call it out at first. And I was looking at Coach Ryan, and I was like, Coach, what up? But, I mean, they made the right call, and it was good coming around, touching Coach Ryan's hand and, seeing my teammates and giving me, it was good. Felt good.
Yeah. And you closed out, right?
Yes, sir.
I talked to another young pitcher earlier in the show about closing out. What kind of pressure does that bring to close out a game, man?
I mean, a lot of that is leadership. So
Yeah.
to be honest, I don't find pressure in closing. Any tight situation in a game, I'm going to be the first person to ask for the ball, or the first person to steal a base. So really, I'm just get up there and do my job and throw strikes and get the outs. Call it a day.
Nice. Love it. This is where I ask about the Twitter handles, starting with you, Brody, and it better be a good one. What's your Twitter handle?
My Twitter handle is BroDatDude24, my jersey number. BRODATDUDE 24.
Yeah.
Follow me.
Bro that dude. Follow that dude.
BroDatDude24.
Okay, Joey, what about you, man?
I actually don't have a Twitter. I try to.
What?
Yeah. I have some other social media, but not a Twitter.
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
You've been living under a rock.
I gotta
man.
get on it.
You got it. Yeah, exactly, man. Catch up with Brody.
I need to get on it.
Yeah. So, Coach, what about you?
Hey, you got to forgive that rookie. I'm not quite on board yet. No, we're follow us at RBS Baseball is our Twitter handle. And real quick, just to add to his leadership, we had a 16-year-old team manager pass away from a brain tumor, so that puts a lot of things in perspective.
Yeah.
Passed away 2 weeks ago, so I think we fed off of that as well. And I would have been remiss if I didn't mention that.
Yeah.
Been a big part of how we keep things in perspective and been a big part of our squad.
Yeah.
His name was Richard Gaither, so awesome little guy, and a lot of the values are still instilled in us. So.
Good stuff right there.
Yes, sir.
And it always helps for motivation.
Yeah, no
to hear
question.
Stories like that.
No question.
Great Twitter handles. 1,000 wins. I got 1,000 followers. So, okay, well, guys, thanks for being with us. More to come on high school sports finals, scanning the area and the highlights from the show, keeping tabs on the best plays. We'll have our plays of the week later. Plus, we'll talk with the James Madison baseball team. We'll find out if the Warhawks have what it takes to go deep in the V8 playoffs. And you have the chance to show us who has the most energetic and spirited high school. Log on to WJLA.com/spirit and tell us why you think your school is the best. Georgetown Prep has gone through some changes in lacrosse. Longtime coach Kevin Giblin resigned last spring, leaving the Little Hoyas to coach Charlie Horney. No matter the coach, Prep lines up one of the toughest schedules, especially playing in the same league as Landon. But they also go on some interconference games as well, including one this week against the #2 lacrosse team, Gonzaga. The Eagles want to get some payback on the IAC after losing to Landon earlier this month. And that gets us to our game of the night, Gonzaga flying over to North Bethesda. The Prep faithful, always boisterous. Gonzaga held an early lead in this game. Avery Myers beats his defender right here and would score
gets it right in the net, but Prep would come right back. Austin McDonald, he would score as well. How do you like that? And the defense held for the Little Hoyas. Check out senior goalie Joey Altimus with the stop right here. Then the clincher, Maddie Gardner, rifles a shot at a tough angle, scores. Georgetown Prep. Yeah, they rushed the field not only in basketball, but in lacrosse as well. Prep beats Gonzaga the final 7-4. Holy Child with the task of taking on St. Stephen's St. Agnes. How about that? The Saints rolling in a flash. Caroline Weissman with the score right there. We're moving fast here. Then Patience. Grayson a foot waits and scores. The Saints win big 16-6 over Holy Child. The gang is all here at Churchill for a crosstown rivalry against Wooten. The Bulldogs come into the game undefeated, and Derek Altabello wants to keep it that way. The goal, and we promise this is not a replay of the previous goal. Altabello, he's at it again, goes to the corner to beat the Wooten goalie. So watch this move by Ryan Sorkin. Breaks the ankles of the defender, bounces one into the goal. Churchill stays undefeated, rolling past Wooten 14-8. Whitman's Colin Haynes with the save right here as the Vikings take on Walter Johnson. Whitman's turn on offense, and check out this little scrum. It's a fight, battle for the ball, and WJ comes up with this one. This was a physical game. Whitman would get on the board. Richard Miller goes off the bounce to score. The Vikings in a blowout, the final 14-0. Sherwood and Bethesda taking on Bethesda Chevy Chase. The Warriors on the attack. Leo Hanrahan ahead to Chris Chiogioji. Goal Sherwood. Chiogioji working hard. Passes to Jackson Downs. Another tally for Sherwood. The Warriors edge BCC.
More to come on High School Sports Final, scanning the area and the highlights from the show, keeping tabs on the best plays. We'll have our plays of the week later. Plus, we'll talk with the James Madison baseball team. We'll find out if the Warhawks have what it takes to go deep in the VA playoffs. And you have the chance to show us who has the most energetic and spirited high school. Log on to WJLA.com/spirit and tell us why you think your school is the best.
And remember, you can go to our Facebook page at High School Sports Final to select your choice for Play of the Week. Here's one of the best plays you'll see right here. You saw it, O'Connell's Rafi Vasquez on the mound. Michael Cordes hits a shot right back at Vasquez, who was trying to save himself, but look what he's got. Hey, watch this move by Ryan Sorkin. How about this? Breaks the ankles of the defender, bounces one into the goal. Churchill would stay unbeaten, and they would get past Wooten. The final for that one, 14-8.
Well, you start the season on a 6-game win streak, and you only give up 4 runs during that streak. You get bumped up to the #1 ranked team in the area. A very good start for the James Madison Warhawks. Although the Vienna school got tripped up a couple of games, they're back on track, scoring 36 runs in their last 3 games. Joining me tonight is the manager of the Madison Warhawks, Mark Pudge Jorman, and senior outfielder Owen Soccer and junior shortstop and pitcher Pete Nilsson. So, Pudge, let's talk about that nickname. Where'd you get that?
That's a long one. When I was younger, playing youth football actually, and youth baseball, one of the moms actually came up and liked my cheeks. They were always pudgy.
Nice.
I wish it was a better story, but I just grew into the pudge after high school.
So is this skinny and stocky? I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally joking.
They're much smarter than I am.
Okay, I got you. You guys tripped up a little bit, got off to a great start. It's always tough when you have those, you lose a couple of games. How do you keep your guys, resilient and keep them going?
Well, that's a great question. Adversity is not a bad thing, and we faced a bunch of adversity early. Last year, I think we won 21 in a row at one point, and kind of, I felt like we got too comfortable a little bit maybe at the end, right before we got, toward the end of the region and before the state tournament. So this year, you know what? You never want to lose games, but it's not the end of the world, and it's non-conference, and we were working through some injuries, and I tip my hat to those teams, but it always felt like we were being the hunted instead of being the hunter, and it's something we've talked about, and we wanted to kind of get back into hunting mode and go get it, and make people write our story. And so the guys have really responded. I'm really proud of this. I love these guys, and I think in the end, if we keep working hard and keep positive attitude, the wins will take care of themselves.
And it's always tough for a coach, but what about the players? Pete, starting with you.
It was just a little rough patch. I think we weren't focusing as much as we should have been, especially in practices. Just figured that we could go out and just beat anyone, but we came to the realization that that's not the case. You have to put in the work.
It's never the case.
To win, yeah.
Oh, and what about you?
I think it also helped us in practice now. We're practicing with more of a purpose now, playing with a chip on our shoulder, and just putting us better off for conference play this time around.
We got a no-hitter, I believe, and a perfect game that was thrown. Correct me if I'm wrong. What was the young kid's name?
Well, Brian Ecker threw a no-hitter over at Langley, a 5-inning game on Friday night. We won 11-0. Brian was outstanding. I mean, had great stuff. We're very fortunate. We've got a deep pitching staff. And Matt Favero turned around last night at Hayfield, and both of them were on the road, and Matt threw a perfect game in 5 innings last night in our win over Hayfield. So it was shortened because we put up some runs. But both are left-handed. It's nice to have, and both of them had great stuff. And they've been pitching well all season. So, but to go out there and do that back-to-back, I don't know when that's been done before. No-hitter and a perfect game back-to-back. We're real excited, but we got to enjoy it now because we got a tough W&L team coming in to our house tomorrow night. So.
Yeah. Well, it's always good momentum. When you guys see, one of your teammates throwing a no-hitter or a perfect game, what are you thinking? Starting with you, Pete.
It's just like wanting the ball to be hit to me, kind of. Just like making sure I don't mess it up, but I kind of want it at the same time, and just happy for them because it's really awesome that they did that. Yeah.
What about you, Owen?
Thinking just about how am I going to make that game-saving play if it comes to me, especially last night in the bottom of the 5th during a perfect game. You're just going to sell out and make sure that he gets that honor. And, I mean, it's honestly just fun to be behind those guys, throwing strikes. I mean, they're just keeping us in games. So, I mean, if they're not scoring any runs, we're not going to lose games. Yeah.
And no matter how short it is, a perfect game is a perfect game. A no-hitter is a no-hitter. Pete, you pitch a little bit.
Yeah.
You close, actually. Kind of talk about that pressure. I don't know if you watch the Nationals, but you see Drew Storen. At times he struggles, and when he does, they get on him. Yeah. Just kind of talk about how much pressure that could be.
It's a lot of pressure. I don't really mind it that much. I kind of like it. I like to get all the adrenaline in me. I mean, it's just as long as you keep the ball down, I guess I'm fine. But it's just fun. I like ending games.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fun to
wrapping it up, huh?
Just finish with the starter.
Like, you're the man, huh?
Yeah, just like it's over.
He's being humble. He wants the ball in his hand at the end of the game.
Okay.
He likes that.
Way to be humble, man. All right, this is where I ask the players their Twitter names. So I'm going to start off with saying mine, WJLA, Big Shot Bob. It's kind of simple, not too out there. Owen, let's start off with you. What's your Twitter name? And it better be good.
All right, well, mine's OSOC23. Just have to represent for the family. Go with some 23 MJ something. Keep it rolling.
Yeah. Nice and sweet and simple. I like it. Kind of cool. Not boring, though.
No.
Pete, what about you, man?
Mine's a little boring.
Come on,
It's just Petey Nielsen. Petey Nielsen.
I'll roll.
They know it's me when they see it.
All right. Okay, I'll roll. And Coach, do you have a Twitter?
I'm old school. I can't even spell Twitter. Can't even have no clue.
I got you. Same with Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. So have you guys decided where you want to go to school at yet?
Yeah, I'm actually going to be attending College of Women Mary next year, play under Coach Murphy. I'm really excited to get down there and get rolling.
Nice. Pete, what about you?
I've closed down my options. I'm down to 2 schools. I'm either going to go play at Virginia or BYU.
Wow. Talk about possibly playing for UVA.
It would just be great to play a team that has a shot to play in Omaha every year, win it all.
Yeah.
It's just something that's really exciting that would be really fun to do.
Has it always been sort of a dream to play for a school like UVA or even a school in the DMV, really?
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously just hit me. Once I started getting recruited by UVA, it's like, wow, that's like the real deal.
Right.
Just watching them play in Omaha, it's like that could be me. It's really cool. But I've grown up a BYU fan because I'm LDS. So it's just like I've grown up rooting for their football team and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
So it's like battle between like loyalty and,
Yeah,
and the team that goes to Omaha every year.
Wow,
So,
cool.
yeah.
Omaha, well, that's fun stuff. I've been to Omaha.
That's awesome.
It's always fun stuff. College World Series, nothing like it.
Yeah, and represent the state of Virginia
Yeah.
too.
Nice, nice. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. That's all the time we have for this edition of High School Sports Final. For all the cast and crew behind the scenes, they bring you the highlights of the games. I'm Robert Burton. See you next time.